their way into the scoring and won in the end by 19 points to 7. 19 points to 17. Lovely atmosphere building up here in Singapore as we come to game 3 on day 1 of the Singapore Sevens. New Zealand, you look at their lineup there, you see that they are starting their total experienced players. They're starting sevens and leaving the younger men in the benches for at least part of the first half. And here are the two very experienced captains, Julien Candelon of France to the left, and Liam Messam makes a comeback to sevens captaincy for New Zealand. The vital player in the game will be this man, Kurt Baker, for New Zealand, and there is the captain of the New Zealand team, Liam Messam, back in the leadership role, and Carl Tanana is with me. Carl, let's see how he goes back in the main job.
Well, it's great to have Liam Messam not only back in the All Black Sevens jersey, but with the captaincy armband. See Ben Krause in charge of this one, very experienced referee, but really interested to see how the New Zealand team line up. Sonny Bill Williams, Liam Messam and Dylan Collier gets a start in this one, the front three, and it was important for New Zealand to get off to a fast start against this French side. The French side, well, they like to be physical. They've gone with their bigs with Logel, Claire and Lacafere, so you know what they're going to do. They're going up the middle of the park.
And look for number 7 in the French team, Virimi Vakatawa. Such a powerful man. They took him away from the sevens and put him in the 15s this year. France in the tricolour colours with Stephen Perez kicking off against New Zealand as the Rugby Sevens comes back to the Lion City, and straight away New Zealand have lost the kick-off to Damien Clare, and here is a Lacafere for France. Now, this is the way the French began in Hong Kong a week ago. They dashed out to a 17-0 lead over New Zealand, and that is the goal line right there, and it's a try! It's, as the French themselves would say, déjà vu.
Well, they started with all the momentum, did France, and what I liked about it, they started with speed. They really challenged New Zealand, and the kick-off, all important. Usually Sam Dixon's there, he's not here for New Zealand. Sonny Bill Williams gets interrupted. It was a nice challenge by Jonathan Logel, but look at the way they move ball to space. Julien Candelon rolls over, they challenge the ball there. Very lucky to keep that. It pops out, goes forward, but in the end, number 9, Icardi, gets the try.
So there is the try scorer, Jeremy Icardi. And what a powerful beginning the French have made. What a powerful statement they have made. This is what they did exactly a week ago. With the conversion, it's 7-0 to France. And that time the kickoff hasn't quite worked.
In these types of games, this is what the French tend to do. They'll let you off the hook somewhat, and they have to keep the pressure on. Sides such as New Zealand, if they're going to contend in the later rounds, these are the things you have to be a bit more accurate in.
So let's see a free kick restart for possession to New Zealand for the first time. Kurt Baker, well, if you've been following the tour this year, you've seen him. He's got over 30 tries this year, and each time he scores, he gives it the old thumbs up in inimitable style. So New Zealand fans will be looking for that. In the meantime, they've got a battle on their hands against the French, who would not want a repeat of the way New Zealand came back into the game a week ago, Carl, because that would have stung them badly of having that wonderful lead, but then losing it.
Well, that's the thing with this New Zealand team, Keith, and they'll fight to the end, no doubt about that. The French, they got out to a fast start in Hong Kong, dominated the first half, but in the second half they fell away. So that's what I mean. They have to be accurate. Everything has to go their way, and at the moment, it is.
Stephen Perez, fully professional players, these Frenchmen. And that's the 22-metre line to the left. And the big jump comes from Logel, Jonathan Logel. And now we see the first look at Vakatawa, transplanted Fijian into the French rugby system. And there is a tackle coming in from Sione Molia on Candelon. Vakatawa again. Nice lines here by the French as they bring it forward by Lacafia again. And clearance coming to Perez, or is it a loose one? It is again with Vakatawa. The French maintaining possession off the floor. Good dispatch, but just touched the New Zealand hand and the French hand without being caught, so it's a knock-on.
Yeah, great defence though from this New Zealand team. They needed it too, because look where they are on the field, but the French are dominating possession, Keith, at the moment. That's why they're able to keep the flow of the game. 9 passes completed, just showing how dominant they've been so far in this game.
So, a week ago, France led 17-0, New Zealand won. We know that the best teams in 7 find an extra gear. Having a look at this game to see whether this changed New Zealand team here in Singapore because of injury. A number of players have gone home. There's some new kids waiting in the reserves bench to come on and get a run, try their hand. Sione Molia, well, already he's just had 3 tournaments, but he feels like already one of the senior players in the team. He had those 2 tries, remember, in the game in Vancouver, which changed the course of New Zealand's hopes. And there's Sonny Bill Williams for the first time. Near halfway, cleared away by Messam. New Zealand looking quite urgent when they do get the ball in hand. And here is Molia doing good things. Number 5 is Dylan Collier.
Rock. Leave.
Flicked away by Regan Ware, but penalty for France.
Geez, that was a good challenge at the breakdown by Virimi Vakatawa. He's so good in that area. Everyone seems to highlight his play going forward on attack, but it's his defense that I really like. He takes him down, Molia, gets up, challenges for the ball, makes it hard for the clean out, and from there, that's where it comes a 50-50 situation. And Dylan Collier's on the ground. You can't play that fair enough call.
Referee's Ben Krause from South Africa. Clearance by the French. So far, New Zealand haven't been down the right-hand end of the field. France have that early lead from the try by Jeremy Icardi. And a beautiful opening moment it was for the French team. They're currently 9th on the world circuit. Exactly where they were this time 12 months ago.
We can see, Keith, French slowing it right down and taking it to their set piece, so when they do attack, they lift the tempo and it catches teams offside.
So Messam, number 6. Nicely taken by Logel. Vakatawa. Saw him good in defence not so long ago. How about this for a setup? And running hard at the line is Candelon, and the veteran. The second try for France goes to the Capitan.
Exactly what I was talking about. Good set piece, and then they eject the power, the pace, and the offload of Vakatawa. Nice backing up by Icardi. Gives it straight out to the speed. Julien Candelon have come into this game with no fear against New Zealand and France side.
We've got guys in this tournament born in 1998. Here's a man born in 1980. That's how much he is one of the senior players from all 16 nations. That was a good kick by Perez. It didn't go over, but this is a good lead for the French. 20 seconds to go first half.
Yeah, well, it's recognition that if you're prepared to sacrifice yourself for your game, that you can play this game of 7s at at the highest level for a very long time, Keith. Julien Candelon, one of the best wingers out there.
Perez high for the catch at the 10-metre mark. It's a pretty good kick too. Gave plenty of hang time on the ball. Now, Baker gets one of his first runs. Logel is the tackler. You hear that big Asian gong in the background. That's the signal here in this part of the world. That's the end of the half and the full time. Nice run here by Collier. He regained it, but it bounced off a New Zealand player and became a knocker. Kind of an unsung hero, Dylan Collier. We look for him to have a big tournament here. He's got a chance to shine, but they come to the break now. 2 tries to France with a conversion. Look at that. 12-0, they lead New Zealand.
Juste faire ça pour tuer le match. Ok, et après garder la simplicité. Ok, les gars, c'est bien. Oh, vous le savez, hein, ils vont réagir. Là, ça va être maintenant. Être capable de recommencer le match.
Frederic Pomerol, the French coach, I'd say he'd be pretty happy with the way the sides played. But I'm sure he said, remember last week in Hong Kong when we just took the foot off the throat a little bit. New Zealand just needed a stiff. They got momentum. We've got to stop that. We have to score first and make it 3 scores to get in front. New Zealand, I think the story for them, they're giving too much ball away, 4 compared to 2, and they can't do that.
Well, here's Gillies Kaka. We haven't seen him in the game, really, in the first half. He just played out of the action, and we see him at the kickoff to start the second half. Referee's whistle comes into play. It's Ben Krause from South Africa. Gillies Kaka from New Zealand kicks off. It's been pretty much one-way traffic in this game, 12-0. Advantage being played New Zealand's way. Here's a chance. Captain bringing it forward. Now, it's gone to Collier again. 22-metre line just ahead. Kaka clears it out. New Zealand hasn't been across that white line yet into the 22. Sonny Bill Williams trying one of his offloads. Let's look. There it is. That doesn't connect with Molia. It came off the hand of Candelon, I believe, so it should be a New Zealand throw-in.
I like the authority that Sonny Bill's showing. You can see there, that's what his trademark is, the offload and behind the back door. Luckily for France, Julien Candelon gets his right hand in the way. Otherwise, Morlia's away. But I think this guy's starting to grow, feeling a lot more comfortable in the 7's boots.
Good example there. Ran for the gap. Didn't run for the man. Put his hands through, swung them around. There's Kaka's throw. Kaka's pass into the backs. Baker. And that was a bad connection. Where to Molia?
Basic skills not there for New Zealand. Passes all behind on the shoulders, hard to take. And again, too much ball given away.
Here's something for you, Carl. Did you realise that in this squad playing here, they're all North Islanders? You'll lose half our audience if we mention that back in New Zealand. No South Islanders in this New Zealand squad. Have played a huge, massive role in New Zealand's rugby story, of course, from the South Island. Let's start with Richie McCaw and Dan Carter. Good South Islanders, but none in the squad here. It's a rarity.
Crouch.
The French squad, of course, from all over, mostly the south as well. South and the southwest of France. Perez.
Running around. Yeah. Push forward.
Again, I'm sure France will just slow it down, go to the set piece, line out. I think it was Sonny Bill just singled out there for wheeling around the scrum, and the French ball while the scrum is still set.
Well, while the seconds click away up there, top left, that's all good for France, for perhaps a famous victory for them.
Still a long way to go, Keith. 4.5 minutes, still a long way.
Number 9.
Yes, I realised that, mate, but we said this last week. Now, Isaac Tatamaki coming through shot there, number 10. He played quite a significant role at Hong Kong last week, and Sione Molia coming off. Just not a top form game from Molia there, but off he goes to the sideline. Let's see how Tatamaki can go. He's got blistering speed, and it's an artificial turf here. Good to run on, very fast. Vakatawa now, testing the defenders. Good run for Aikari.
Vakatawa, again, is the one. You know what he's going to do. He's going to step. Look what he does when he does. He takes out 2 defenders. Takes out Tatamaki, Kurt Baker. Kurt Baker can't get across. Ware doesn't use his shoulders. And now the French are going to be tough to beat, Keith.
Well, it is really going to be history repeating itself at 70-0 at the moment, and that's made it even more of un problème for New Zealand, because it's now 19-0 to the French.
Time off. Is it coming? 8.
So we've not had a victory by France over New Zealand in 7s rugby in this series for 11 years.
Okay, thanks.
The tour was in Paris in the semi-finals. France won and went on to win the tournament, the home tournament for them. And look at this, what a start, 19-0. Now, is there any spark from New Zealand to come back into this game. Antonio Kirikiri is the new boy on the field. And there is Jeremy Akadi, 2 tries.
Yeah, very raw
Speed up.
bench for this New Zealand side, Keith. And this is a great opportunity now for them to get back into this game. Midfield scrum, if they get
Crouch.
any parity there, you want to go to the right-hand side, you'll get the natural overlap.
Crouch. Bind.
Number 7, another
Set.
real youngster for New Zealand, Isaac Teati. There he is. And Teati gets it away running. He's a brilliant runner. And he's get it away to Tamaki. These are brilliant teenage Maori players from New Zealand. They know how to run
Ruck.
in the natural running game.
Ruck first.
Baker takes it quickly for New Zealand. There's a sense of desperation now.
That advantage, not 10.
Kitty. Tamaki. Baker
Advantage over.
pushes
Tackle
hard at
top
the
right.
gap. Oh, was that an early tackle on Teddy Stanaway, who's come into the
On your knees,
game?
picking it up.
No,
Get up, mate.
not ruled.
Well, the French now
Get on your
be
feet.
very tough to pull back. They'll go to the set piece and kick it long and get out of their own territory, but
Wait
great
for the line
defence there from this French side again. And they're confident
Okay, send him on.
and keen. A very tough team to stop. Here it is, Kurt Baker goes through the hole on Lo Xiao. They
Send him
knock
on,
it
boys.
down, initially Candelon. He has to get back to his feet
Come on.
there, Kurt Baker. He can't
4.
play the ball.
11.
Zealand coach Gordon
11.
Kitchens. Anxious times for him. Just because you lose a game doesn't mean to say you lose out totally. There's the French coach,
Good to go.
Frederic Pomerel. And listen to the cheer from around the stadium. The crowd here in Singapore, they know their international rugby calls Alele Bleu, as it's a great take by Jonathan Logel. And France in control here at 19-0. Vakatawa straight past Tamaki, and he's got to run the length of the field and score. And why not? Verimi Vakatawa. France have scored 4 against New Zealand. This is an early shock here in Singapore.
Well, this is an international winger going to work. A young man, Tamaki, goes way too high on Vakatawa, but look at the face, the power, the work going in. He knows right there, the tongue comes out. Game done.
And you see a Gallic shrug in the background from one of the French staff. Delighted with that one, but not giving too much away. Here's Perez on the conversion. They have scored some lovely tries here, 24-0.
Well, for me, this guy here, Virimi Vakatawa, is an all-star. So far, I think he'd be one of the best on the planet in the game of sevens. And he'd be putting his hand up for maybe higher honours at the end of the year, I'm sure, in terms of 7 Series best players. Virimi Vakatawa for France.
So this is a shock for New Zealand fans. There was a result when Fiji beat New Zealand by 44-0 a couple of years ago, but this is 24-0. This is totally unexpected. The score nil has only been 9 times in the past. This will be the 10th time.
Extra roll.
So that's bad luck for Antonio Kitty. And kicked away to touch, and the referee blows for full time. This is the biggest score and the biggest margin France has ever put up against New Zealand, and this is a fantastic win for them by 4 tries and 2 conversions. 24-0. They have blocked out New Zealand here in Singapore.